What's up, family? How's it going? It's 2018, already more than halfway through January. Really excited for what just God is doing in my life, in our life, in your life, and wanted to talk a little bit as we go through just our continued pillars and growth of our character to really become all that God's called us to be. I think one of the most difficult things as we look so far ahead, look so far into the future, sometimes I know I struggle with that. I'm a big dreamer, but I have to really come back to today. I have to come back to the reality that I need to grow today. I need to build myself today. And we've gone through the pillars of just really putting God as a friend and really helping us understand that our intimacy with Him is just so important, is everything to our growth. And then talking about how putting our time with our family in front of just everything else when it comes to work and ministry or whatever it is you do is so crucial. God given us a family to steward and to love and to really pour into for a purpose, and we need to make sure we do that well. And really building also in ourselves, having a good influence of things to listen to, things to hear, things to read, really be able to build who you are well, and that takes effort in our end to make sure we're listening to the good things and doing the right things when it comes to our personal growth and development and our character. And our sphere of influence, we talked about that last time, our sphere of influence being such a big part of how we make an impact in our world, in our personal world. We have a little circle around us of influence that we need to really impact today, which starts with ourselves, and then it goes to our family, and then it goes to our community, and then it goes to our city, and then it goes to our county, our state, however big you dream and think. I think worldwide. So I just want to encourage you guys to focus on those things. But today I want to talk about a work habit, a work ethic, having a good work habit and a work ethic. It's so important to understand that we can believe and we can have faith in so many things, and we can have faith in God. We can really believe for so many awesome things to happen in our life. But the reality is, if we don't put in the effort, if we don't put in the work, it is all meaningless. I mean, James, in the book of James, it talks clearly about that, where people kind of look at that book, James 2, and look at it as like, I thought salvation has nothing to do with works, and people get confused, but the reality is that's not what James is talking about. James is pretty much saying, by your faith, because faith in reality is an action word. We should have action when it comes to faith. If you say you have a faith, then you can display your faith not by words, by everything you do. Everything you activate in, how you live, how you act, how you work, how you deal with people, how you just relate. Everything you do in your work, in your life, should display the faith you have. And so really that's what James is saying, that you show me your faith by your words, I'll show you faith by my deeds or by my actions. And the reality is, if we desire growth, if we desire to live a life that is honoring to God and also to aspiring to whatever endeavors that you have, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business person, if you're just a professional in whatever field you're in, your work ethic is so vital to your character, to your growth, to your future. Don't ever take that lightly. Those things are so important to grasp, and through your work ethic displays the faith you have. Whether that's faith in God, whether that's faith in yourself, whether that's faith in your future, whether that's faith in your family, whatever faith that you might be striving towards. But I pray and I hope that your faith is in God, and that everything you do reflects and represents Him in all you do. And God is a God that is good, that is loving, that is great, that is majestic. He is the King of all kings. So in the fact that He lives in us, the reality is, if that greatness lives in us, then we should be living a life of greatness as well. That we should be living a life that shows that type of work habit, that shows a godly work ethic, a work ethic that is up to standard, up to par, to a place where people look at you and see integrity, people look at you and see character, people look at you and see Jesus, and that's the reality. So I want us to understand that work ethic and work habit is godly, is of God, and is the direction that He's called us to. And that's what James is really saying in James 2, to show your faith by the works of His love in you, that you represent God through the work that you display. Not your works prove your faith, but that your works represent your faith. And I think that's very important to understand, that we're not saved by our works, but we are displaying and representing God through the life we live because of the faith we have. So that's very important to understand. I just want to really put that in there. I think it's so crucial to understand that in our development, in our growth, as men and women of God, that as we grow in our character, as we grow in what God has called us to, that today we can work hard, we can have a good work ethic, a work habit that displays our faith, that displays God at the center. And if He lives in us, His greatness lives in us, then may we live a life of greatness and display a habit that is important and that is godly. So, love you guys. Next time we'll talk about time and money, how that is so important to our growth and our development. Love you guys. Hope that blessed you. Share, talk about it, share some thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Peace out.